Welcome into another Sunday Special here at ITHSW.com. As the sun sets on another mid-October day here in Tucson, Arizona, our focus today is on the University of Arizona hockey team as they claw their way up to the top of the ACHA D1 mountain again. The program, which has been around for years and has made impacts in the 80s, 90s, into the 2000s, is now back on the rise as the team enters this season with high aspirations, currently standing at 8-1-0 on the season and poised to make a run into the national tournament. Not enough though for Coach Berman and his team. They have aspirations of winning a national championship and bringing that title back here to the TCC in Tucson. So as we go, we're going to visit today with Coach Berman. We're going to visit with a couple of his players and give you a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes for the Cats to claw their way back to the top. All right, welcome into another Sunday Special. This is a special one. It's one that I've wanted to do for a long time. It's talking Arizona hockey. It's talking the what I'm calling clawing your way back up to the top. I mean, this is a program that's a proud program. It's been around for a long time. It's been down. It's been up. It's on the rise again, and part of the reason it's on the rise is in front of me right now, head coach Chad Berman. So, Chad, welcome in.
Thank you.
It's always nice to get down here to Tucson and watch hockey. I love watching you guys. I love the spirit. When I talk to other people, they tell me the same thing, that Arizona hockey is Arizona hockey. So let's talk a little bit about this season and 7-1-0 ranking.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're 8-1-0 actually.
8-1-0,
yeah,
okay.
We don't want to throw them away yet.
Yeah,
we are in those.
All the way. 8-1-0.
You know, we're obviously really excited about our start. We thought we had a chance to be a good team, but you know, until you get into the trenches, you don't really know what you're made of from an intangible standpoint. But I think we've been tested in a lot of ways between injuries and travel and lack of ice, and so far we've been able to overcome all those things. I couldn't be happier. I mean, I think the results are the product of a lot of small details, and I couldn't be happier with the way we've handled the intangibles and the little challenges we've had along the way. I think it's a good sign for us moving forward.
So that's this year. Let's back up a step. About 4 years ago, when you and I got together for the first time, and I saw you over on campus in the rec building, and we talked, and you were taking over a program that you didn't really know what you had, right?
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, I knew I was in for a challenge. That was 4 years ago, but it feels like I've aged 25 years since then. So I knew I was in for a challenge, especially culturally. You know, the reputation of the program before wasn't a hockey first mentality, and you know, our mentality here is school comes first, hockey comes second, and then the extracurriculars and the fun stuff that comes with being a college student. They should do that, and you know, this weekend they get off, they get to enjoy that stuff. We try to find balance, but we've kind of finally gotten this program to a spot where we're committed and all on the same page, and we come to the rink to accomplish the same things.
And accomplishing the same things right now, you guys have a goal in mind. I know that the national tournament is not just where you want to be, it's what you want to win, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. At the very least, make a run. I think, it's tough to win that tournament. I asked Coach Powers, even when some of those top teams he had, it takes more than talent. I think if you look around the league, it's kind of everybody chasing Lindenwood right now. They've been off to an incredibly impressive performance to start here. But I think if you can get to that Final Four, to those quarterfinal matchups, you solidified yourself as a top program in the country. And so we'd like to get to that point and then go from there. I think that's a reality now, and we're only going to continue to grow and build from there.
4 years ago when I founded Ice Time Hockey Southwest, one of my goals was to help increase the visibility of hockey in the Desert Southwest. That was where I was at, right? Never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd see the programs build the way they are. Your program has gone up leaps and bounds. UNLV's put a program out there that's gone to D1. Grand Canyon is challenging for that level. NAU's been dominant at D2. ASU's been up and down, but they're what they are, right? They're always there, and they're always a nemesis, especially to you guys.
Yeah.
So club hockey has taken, in my estimation, over the last 3 years for sure, has taken some great strides in the Desert Southwest, and I don't think you guys are getting the credit that you guys deserve.
Yes and no. I mean, I agree. First, I hate the term club hockey. Anybody who's played with me before would agree. It just with the work that goes into this, it sounds like it's a intramural sport, and it's far from it. These guys are. We treat this program like an NCAA program. We feed them well. We take care of their travel. We push them, we expect a lot, and they're getting a tremendous education on top of it. But I think what you're seeing is the league's grown so much. The depth of this league is so different than what it was about 10 years ago when I first got into it. And I think you're seeing more and more people are seeing the appeal to these schools out west that can provide that big school experience that you can't get at the Division III level. And speaking for myself, I went to Fredonia. I loved my time at Fredonia. It was a great place to play. I had a bunch of buddies from juniors on the team and enjoyed it. But when you come see, a place like this that you can play in front of 4,000 or 5,000 fans against Arizona State, weaving in and out of palm trees and get a business degree or an engineering degree like you can here, it really is a full package. And so I think you're seeing more of the BCHL, CCHL kids starting to realize the opportunity to get a great education, get the full college experience, and play at a very high level of hockey, and that's catching on all over. And I'm certainly proud of our growth, but I'm also proud of the growth of the programs you just mentioned, because we're all leaning on each other to build programs so that we can have that competitive schedule and keep our travel within reason, so that we're all keeping an affordable budget and competing with those teams out east and in the Midwest who have those 2, 3, 4 hour bus trips to their advantage. We just don't have that right now, but we're hoping to continue the growth so that we can get to that point.
Coach, let's take a quick break. We'll come right back and we'll talk a little bit about some of those challenges.
There's another goal. That's a beautiful tip in by Tyler Griffith. That's Ethan Staluth with the goal. There's a shot in the goal. Arizona takes the lead. Anthony Cusinelli with the backhander. He shoots. He scores. Your Arizona Wildcats, champions of the Cactus Cup.
All right, we're back with Coach Berman from the University of Arizona hockey team. And Coach, I want to talk a little bit today about some of the challenges that are not only for your program, but for all the programs that play ACHA hockey. And talk just a little bit about what it was like when you got here. You had to love the weather, you had to love the facility, you had to love all that stuff, but you had to build a program again, and a program that was prideful years ago, but now it needed some work, and you put it in over the last 4 years. So talk a little bit about some of the things you've been challenged with.
Yeah, thanks. It's been a massive project. First thing we had to do is establish a winning culture, which took a lot of time to shed some old habits and ideals. And I feel confident that we've officially come to that point with this group now. It's a fun group to go to work with. We had to reconnect our alumni. Our alumni was a bit broken through a couple of coaches to the day, so we've had to kind of completely rebuild and reconnect with our alumni. I think we've done a good job of that. You're seeing the turnout more and more on Alumni Weekend. They're more engaged with donations and just even a text here and there to say congrats, whatever it is, to feel involved and engaged. We retired Kelly Walker's jersey. That was well overdue, and I think that helps too. But and on top of that, we had to, you set a culture, but you've got to bring in talent, and you got to get guys to buy in. And when you're first recruiting, at that point you're selling ideas, and you're not selling what you've done, but what you hope to do. And so that's a challenge, and you got to get guys to buy into yourself and into the facilities and the program and what it's going to take, and the parents to be convinced to move their kids out here. It takes a lot to get to that point. Now, obviously, as we start winning, now we can start selling results instead of hope, and so it's a lot different. I've had 4 Division III players contact me that want to come mid-semester, so I'd say that's a good sign. And an even better sign is I don't know that we've got room for them. We're pretty happy with our room right now. And we don't want to rock that boat too much. We'll be thorough in our process and certainly look into it into as much detail as necessary. But it's nice to have moments, like this weekend when we're off here, where we can kind of reflect on how far things have come, and it's a lot of fun to feel that. But I didn't set out to get into the national tournament. I set to win it. So we've got a heck of a lot of work ahead of us to get to that point. Certainly, job's not done, but confident in the direction we're heading and in the core we have moving forward to make that happen.
As we look in a couple of directions, it's always a good reminder to let people know that you've got student athletes. So they have to qualify academically to be at the University of Arizona.
Yeah.
They also have to have the finances to pay for this, right? I mean, it's not free.
Yeah.
You got to pay. You got to be willing to put in the time. It's a dedicated thing, probably more dedicated than anything else, because at the NCAA level, you got scholarships. You're treated like kings. You're treated like royalty. here it's a work, it's a job, right?
Yeah, these kids pay player dues, and as a program, we're working to eliminate that. We'd like to get to a point financially to where we don't have to rely on that, and we can get to that point. I know there's some programs that do, and most programs that don't. In fact, most programs pay more than what we charge our kids, and so we're proud of what we're doing and what we're trying to get to. It's I think people lose sight of that. I know we're a program that gets a lot of attention, in the media and through our fan base, and we're lucky to have that because they're engaged. But sometimes I think people lose sight of the fact that they're students first, and that they've got a heck of a lot on their plate. It's a time management thing where they've got to learn to balance all these things. And especially like the month of October, we're on the month. We did a 40-hour round trip bus to Missouri State and Arkansas. Then we got on the plane and went to Colorado the next weekend. We got another, 37-hour bus ride or whatever ahead of us here to Oklahoma. And what they don't see is, we park, we get there. It's not like they're lounging and sleeping in the rooms all day. They're on the lobby doing their engineering work or their Eller work and taking tests online. And, there's a lot of great stuff to that too, because that means kids are committed and doing this for a reason. They all love hockey, or they wouldn't be going through all that. They could all easily just be college students and enjoy the frat life Thursday night and do all that stuff, but they want to be a part of something special. And in return, I think they're getting an unbelievable full package experience between the fan base and the crowds, the arena, the facilities, and it's we've talked about it as a group. We've been a part of these road trips. It's way more exhausting when you lose, and right now we feel good. We've got a couple of big injuries and guys have stepped up, but there's something about winning on those road trips that keeps you energized and focused. And I think the best part of that is now we're going into Oklahoma here for a chance for sole rights to first place in the conference. We can't wait to get on that bus. We can't wait to get out there and see what we got and measure up against the best and show them what we've got. And I think it's going to be a really fun weekend.
Speaking of that, let's take another quick break. Let's come back and talk polls. Let's talk your rankings.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what it takes to get into the national tournament and what it takes to win it.
Yep.
All right, we're back with another segment with Coach Berman and Arizona hockey program. Let's talk a little bit, Coach, about one of the things that's been on under my skin for a little while now. Actually, it's been under my skin for a long while, but I want to talk about the rankings. First of all, for people that don't know, in order to be a team in the national tournament in ACHA D1, you must finish in the top 20 of the ranks, correct?
Yeah, I think it's more like 18 or 17 out of the auto bids and whatever from out east, yeah.
So that's where you got to be. I know they start early. I know it's coaches. I know it's a lot of extra work for people on a volunteer basis. But the one thing that gets to me is that if you're going to be doing a pool of any sort, you need to watch the games, right? You have some insight into it. And I have a problem with teams that are below 500 being ranked at any point in the season above teams that are. I don't care who you played or who you haven't. That's not the point. The point of it is you can juggle these every week, right? But you can't tell me that you get respect if you're 8-1-0 and you're 16th in the country.
Yeah, there's a couple things to that. As I tell my players, we focus on what we can control. And so far we've done that. I think, one blunder in the schedule there, and we've learned a lot from that. I think we'll be better from it moving forward. But, I can't control if coaches want to be lazy and don't want to do that stuff. I personally would like to challenge each coach to take this more seriously. I think it matters, unfortunately, to a lot of schools that don't have a fan base and ticket sales to bank on. It doesn't matter to them. And so if it's not for your program, do it for the league's sake. We can't sit here and keep saying we're the equivalent of Division III hockey, and then these kind of things make us look chintzy. I certainly have great respect for all the coaches that are in the ACHA. I know a lot of them are volunteer-based. They put in a lot of extra time. They do it for the love of the game. But I think on the other side of that, there is a responsibility to making sure that we're doing everything right. It can be frustrating when you think you're not ranked accurately, but I think the coaches, for the most part, know. The coaches poll doesn't have a lot of meaning. There'll be a computer poll that'll come out here on November 1st, and so we're doing our best to kind control. We can keep winning games that we need to, especially on the road. It's a good start for us. Now all these guys got to come back and play us second half here, and hopefully we're competing for that conference championship with that home stretch in mind. But we don't control that. So I see this in a couple different ways. I don't get too caught up in the rankings, because to me, once you get to the tournament, it's about matchups. It's about how you're playing at that time, who's willing to block shots, who's going to keep the puck out of the net, that kind of stuff. So that come March, it'll take care of itself. But at the end of the day, we want to fight for a higher ranking. We want to cut down on our travel to the tournament, and if coaches think we're a 16th ranked team, then we look forward to seeing you in your building.
And the other part of that whole scenario is that, when fans are looking from the outside, right, they want to see, and they look at your team and they go, hey, I watched you play 3 or 4 games already. You're 8-1-0. What are these other teams doing that you guys can't jump them, or why can't you move up? And, you look at you guys playing Missouri State, for example. They're a good team.
Yep.
But they're ranked way ahead of you, and you beat them.
And we beat them, yeah.
So,
yeah, they are a good team, yeah. I don't know what they're looking at. If it's who the teams are playing, I would think that us playing on the road the entire first month would count for something. But just not much I can do about it. It's we're focused on right now beating UCO, and that's going to be a challenge in itself coming off the bus. And that's a very good team with a winning culture and a winning tradition. And I'm sure they're looking forward to seeing Bayley Marshall and back in their rank there. And so there's a lot to play for in that regard. And that's what we're looking forward to. Our goal is not to make the top 10; it's to stick in the top 10. And so, we've eaten off a quarter of the sandwich. We got a lot of work left ahead of us. And so this thing's a building process. I think if we continue to do what we're doing, focus on the details we focus on, I think the outcome will take care of itself.
Over the past 4 years that I've known you in the program down here, and I look at it, I think this year may be the first year that you're set up the right way. You go on the road, so you get the home ice in the second half of the season. You play some decent competition, but you're not killing yourself with competition.
Yep.
And you're building slowly so that I think you're going to peak at the right time. My gut feeling is that peak might be tournament time.
Yeah.
Yours as well?
Well, I think certainly that's what you hope for. We're starting to get more ice in November, so we're still kind of layering in systems here as we go, and we're going to add some stuff for Oklahoma weekend here today, and kind of touch on some things early next week. It's just a different challenge here, and so we certainly have a lot of benefits that we enjoy too. So it's a process. It's a long process. You certainly want to peak come March. We think we can. I love the balance of this team. Just thinking about the biggest improvement we made is on D. The mobility and puck movements made our forwards better, and I think that's important to note. And our forwards have a lot of depth, and certainly we love our goaltending, and that's no secret in our locker room here. We feel confident either kid in there is going to give us the best chance to win. But I think what you're seeing is we have a team that's versatile, that can play against anybody in any style, and I think last weekend is a good example. Colorado was a bit of a run and gun game. Fine, that's a good game for us. We're a transition team. We're pretty quick. We move pucks. We're happy to do that, and I thought we played well in that regard. Then you go to Colorado State. They're a different kind of team. They kind of clog it up, grind it down, and fine. We'll win battles in the corners. We'll block shots. We'll do what it takes, and we'll find a way to get that extra 1-2 goal. And so I think it's a good sign for us going in the tournament that when those matchups come across, that we can serve pretty well in any game.
You got to be a chameleon, basically, right? You got to
absolutely
change when you can. Let's wrap things up by you telling, from the coach's perspective, how difficult is it to play 3 games in 3 nights on the road, a couple weeks in a row?
Yeah, it's very tough. 3-game weekends, it just increases the opportunity for injury, a lot of fatigue. What I'm most excited about and why we're able to handle this a lot better now is our depth is just a different story. We've got 4 or 5 forwards ready to contribute. Furry, Trapp, Bird, Olsen, Artizonia, Huja. These are all kids who are just chomping at the bit to play, and they're putting in the extra work so that when their opportunity comes, they take advantage of it. Furry and Trapp have been around for a while, and they've been comfortable with the systems, and they're making things happen. They continue to evolve in the small details of their game. Last weekend, Bird and Olsen got their opportunity, and I thought they served very well. Olsen, there's no greater thing you can do to earn more ice time than to give confidence in your coach that you're going to be great defensively. And Olsen had a couple stick pickups that saved a goal against CSU. He's been very good on the wall, simple, keeping pucks to the outside. And then Bird was just an example of a kid who hopped on the ice. He didn't say he wanted to play. He showed me. He played with urgency. He played with fire. He did what you hope a guy would do with that opportunity. He's forcing me to say maybe this kid needs to play more. And so we're getting some pressure from behind and on the guys in the lineup. And I think that's good to push everybody. And that's part of being part of a winning culture. So it's a lot of fun. It's a good time to be a Wildcat, and then we're only getting stronger from here.
Coach, thank you for your time as always. We look forward to trying to boost you guys up those rankings, no matter what we got to do.
We'll do our part.
Look forward to being down here at the TCC and watching you guys play the rest of the season, and look forward to seeing you in Frisco, Texas.
Absolutely. Thanks.
He scores! Your Arizona Wildcats, champions of the Cactus Cup!
All right, welcome into the Sunday Special. We are talking Arizona hockey. We're talking clawing their way back to the top. We've got senior Charlie James with me. And Charlie, first of all, welcome in.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
It's really nice to be down here in Tucson again, and it's nice to be talking about a team that you've seen over the last 4 years, have a few ups and downs, and now you're on the upside of it. 8-1-0. I got that right, Coach. 8-1-0. And you've had a week now to kind of get your bearings about it after being on the road for a little while. So first of all, talk a little bit about this season and where you guys are at.
We're obviously off to a really strong start here. Not having limited in practice kind of made things a little tough for us at the beginning, but we're really confident with what we have in the locker room. So we've been off to a good start, and we're confident with what we have going forward.
So you guys are off to a great start, as you mentioned, but let's talk a little bit about this season and how it's different from your past seasons here. What's been different? What's gotten you guys off to that great start?
I think our fourth line can carry as much weight as our first line, and that's what it's going to take to take us to the national championship. So I think that's our depth is the biggest factor that's been carrying us this far so far.
You guys have talked a lot about not only wanting to get to the tournament again, but to win the tournament, right? This is all about a winning tradition, about bringing Arizona hockey back on top.
Exactly.
So tell me a little bit about what it's going to take to get there.
It's going to take hard work every single day. We've got 30 guys that want to come to the locker room every single day to the rink and work hard every single day. And if we do that, it's going to create competition within our own team, and that's what it's going to take to win, to be competitive every single day.
Talk to me a little bit about Arizona hockey and what it really means to you. You decided to come here for a reason. What was that reason? What brought you to Arizona?
I've lived in Arizona my whole entire life. This is an amazing school with an amazing program, and I don't think there's anywhere else better to play in the ACHA. I think we have one of the best programs, and every opportunity you could want is here, so that's why I came. So
you get to play at home. Obviously, you've seen these fans growing up, right? Mm-hmm. You've had a chance to witness what it's like to play before a packed house. You've had a chance to see rivalry games with Arizona State and things like that.
Sure, absolutely.
So year by year, what's it been like for you?
Year by year, it gets better and better. As we get better, more fans want to come and watch a winning team. So every single year, the fans get more and more into it, and I think this year they're most excited, obviously, because we have a great team, and I think they're really excited for the home stretch we have here.
So when I say Arizona hockey climbing their way back to the top, I don't know if you remember the glory days of years ago, but you went through some lean times, and now you get a chance to go. I know last year you had a chance to see that number 16 go up to the rafters. And how much would it mean to bring that national championship back here?
That's everything. That's what we come here every single day to do, is that we want that national championship, and if we don't get that, then in reality we don't have anything. So that's the only goal here, and that's what we want.
So as we talk Arizona hockey, we talk, and I hate to use the word club, Coach hates me to use the word club, but it's club hockey and it's dedication, right? I mean, you got to pay to be in this program.
Yep.
You got to be a student athlete.
Yep.
You got to do some bus rides. You got to do some plane rides. Give us a little perspective from a guy that's been here for 4 years, what that's been like to travel, to go through the ups and downs, to have broken down buses, to be in a bus accident. Give us a little bit of insight.
It's not easy. It's a lot of work. It takes up a lot of your time. But when you have 20 other guys in the locker room that want to win and want to be there with you, it makes it a whole lot easier. So, and that's definitely what we have this year. So it's a blast. No matter where we are, what we're doing, it's always fun to be with the guys, and that's why we have a winning culture.
So you just came off of a second week on the road where you played 3 games in 3 nights. What's that like as a player?
By game 3, it's not easy to walk. It's a lot of skating in a short amount of time, but we've got a deep team, so if we all just keep working hard, we can do it. We can grind out the weekends, and we can take the whole entire weekend home.
So let's talk a little bit more in depth about that. Tell me a little bit about what it's like. You ride the bus for 20 hours, whatever it is. You get to a hotel, got homework to do, may have a test to take.
Sure.
What's that like as a student athlete hockey player?
We hop on the bus, we find as many movies as we can. We lay there for about 20 hours, and once we get there, we try, get our legs going, maybe go for a team stretch, a jog, something like that, to kind of recuperate ourselves, and we try to get dialed in for the game. Obviously, if we have homework, we'll take care of that. We'll take our pregame naps, and then we just try to dial in for the night. Try to forget about all the other factors like the bus ride, everything like that, the travel. We just want to focus on the task at hand.
So Charlie, tell me a little bit about what it's like game day. Okay, right? You guys you come down here. Let's talk about a home game, for example. You come down here, you know what you expect outside with the crowd, but what's your preparation like?
I like to get a pregame skate in the morning, and then I usually like to get a big meal in after that, and then I'll go home, take a nap, and then usually get to the rink about 2.5 hours early. Try and just settle in, think about the game, think about what I'm going to do. And then I kind of just like to keep it loose before the game. Just try to get a stretch in, maybe play some soccer with the boys, and then just focus on the task at hand and get ready for the task at hand at night.
And has that been pretty similar the full 4 years, or have you seen things tighten up and get a little different as you guys continue to get wins?
Personally, I've tried to do the same thing the same 4 years. I've always have, so that's pretty much stayed the same. But I know as a team, we're a lot more focused and dialed in every single day. So
I'm talking about clawing your way to the top. Tell the fans out there, the Arizona hockey fans, why they can expect to see you guys not only in the national tournament but challenging for that title.
We've got, like I said, we've got 30 guys in the locker room that just want to win, and that's what it's going to take for us to go all the way in the national tournament. And I believe that we have 30 guys that can do what it takes to win a national championship.
Charlie, appreciate your time. Good luck tonight, or good luck this weekend. When you're off, but you got the NHL alumni team coming in, right? Which will be a lot of fun. And
very excited for that.
Then the big series headed to Oklahoma, right?
Yeah, that's the big one.
Good luck then, and good luck the rest of the way.
Appreciate it.
Hey, hockey fans in the Desert Southwest. Ice Time Hockey Southwest is officially BARC approved. All right, we're back. We got defenseman Manny Rowe with me. First of all, Manny, I don't see the flow. I don't see the beard. What in the world is going on with Arizona hockey?
So the flow got chopped. It was too hot this summer, and I haven't scored yet, so the mustache also got chopped this last weekend.
I like that. Not that hockey players are superstitious, right? But it's always nice to visit you guys down here at the TCC, and we're doing a little feature called Clawing Your Way Back to the Top. Arizona hockey on the rise, and you guys start off 8-0 or 8-1 and 0. Almost got that wrong again. Coach is ready to poke me over. 8-1 and 0. What's it been like so far this season, and what's been different on the ice?
It's been awesome. I think our mentality isn't even let's get the 2 wins. It's all we know is a sweep. We're looking for the 3 wins on the road, at home. We're not settling for the 16th, 17th, 20th spot. We want to be in the top 10, top 5 now.
So you've been around a few years. You've seen some lean stuff. You've seen you guys get edged out of a national tournament. You saw get to a national tournament last year. I know the goal around here is not get there, but win it, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So freshman year is still a little touchy subject, but we think we got snobbed for my freshman year. And then last year we did make it. We got 1 win against Missouri, and then we did get bounced against Minot. But now that majority of our team's juniors, we know what to expect, we know what we need, and we just need more. So that's the mentality we're bringing every day to practice and every game.
So climbing your way back up to the top, you know a little bit about the history of Arizona hockey. You retired to Jersey last year of Kelly Walker. And the tradition is here. The alumni is starting to get a little bit more involved. You play before a pretty large crowd almost every night.
A lot, yeah.
It's a neat environment for ACHA hockey, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's funny, whenever we go on the road, everyone's like, hockey in Arizona. And then if they would come out to the game, you would see 4,000, 3,000 fans a night when we have home games.
And part of my itching under the skin has been the ranking system, right? I've been beating people up. I beat Coach up over it. He told me that he had no control over it. And my whole theory on it is as a player, does that bother you?
No. Not at all. We know our record. We know the other team's records. Everyone sees it. So you see a top team, you see Adrian, you see Minot, and they have a good record. They're great teams, and we do believe we're going to be up there, and we know it. So we don't think we're a 16 team. We think we're a top 5 team. So every time we go to play a game, that's what we have to play like.
So we talk about playing on the road, and for you guys, the road is somewhere you spend a lot of time recently.
Yeah.
So give me a little overview, a little recap, if you will, of what it's like to go on the road 2 weeks in a row, get your homework done, do all the things you have to do as a student athlete.
Yeah, the homework part is tough. I really don't like missing school, and we're missing Wednesday through Friday classes. So you're working on the bus, you're working on the airplane, you got to set aside time at the hotels. But come around lunchtime, you flip the switch and you got to start thinking hockey. So you have that lunch, you start gearing in, you listen to music, you kind of take one more step and get a little bit more serious than joking around. And you have bus legs or airplane legs, you got to get rid of those. So you take warm-ups a little more serious, you play soccer a little bit more, and then you'll be ready to go.
And I talked to your teammates as well about what it's like to play 3 games in 3 nights. Your style of play is pretty rough and tumble. You like to be physical.
Yeah.
What do you feel like after that 3rd game on a weekend like that?
I'm thinking ice bath right away. It's everyone's leaving with bruises. You're blocking shots. You're getting hit. Your arms are beat up. You're kind of walking Band-Aid after that 3rd game, but that's when you recap. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, you kind of relax, light practice, and you get right back to it.
So what's changed, if anything, since the day that you put your first step on campus and the first time you
Like freshman year?
Yeah.
Freshman. All right. It's been a lot. We've been raised in the right direction from when I was a freshman and the seniors leading us into it and showing us the ropes. And each year, I think, with better leadership, that trickles down to players like Westy and Coos, Chuck and I. We've had 4 years of great leadership, and I think each year, as expectations gets higher, so does the leadership. So now it's on our shoulders to keep wanting more, to get better, and to bring it every day.
So if you guys are climbing to the top and you get to the top, what's going to keep you at the top?
Heart, stride. You're not going to get complacent. I think that's a word that we use a lot. Is you can't be okay with a 2-0 or 3-0 lead. It just can't happen when you're in that top 10, and that's what we're shooting for.
And let's talk a little bit about, let's look ahead to March, and let's say that you guys win this national championship. What are you going to tell recruits? What are you going to tell people that want to be University of Arizona hockey players?
We show them 1 ring, and then we show them I have 4 other fingers that they can be a part of. And I mean, no greater place to play at the TCC. It's great weather here. It's already shorts and a t-shirt, and it's almost winter time, so it's awesome.
Manny Rowe, thanks again for stepping in.
Yeah.
Next time I see you, though, I want to see that stash going. I want to see some goals coming.
Goals and Movember's on the agenda coming up soon.
I hear you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Good luck the rest of the way.
Appreciate it.
All right, we're back in with another segment on clawing their way to the top, the story of Arizona ice hockey right down here in Tucson, the TCC. I brought in one of the newest members of the Arizona hockey team this year, Bayley Marshall. Bayley, welcome in.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
First things first, what's it been like arriving here at Tucson and being a part of this team that's now 8-1-0?
Well, so far it's just been pretty good. Got here and met some of the guys and just kind of meshed pretty quickly, and everything's just been going according to plan so far, and just working really well with all the other guys in the team and having some success on the ice.
So you came from a really good program, right, over in Oklahoma.
Yep.
So tell me a little bit about what that transition's been like, not only for you on and off the ice.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's more a transition off the ice, and that was a big part of me leaving there. Was just I wanted a different experience in school. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty similar here this year to what it was last year. There, it's just a bunch of guys working hard, trying to do the best they can and make our way to the national tournament and see what happens. So it's pretty similar on the ice, just off the ice, a little different, bigger school and stuff like that, a little tougher classes. But other than that, it's going pretty well.
So you guys had a chance to spend some time bonding on the road. Nothing like going on a bus ride for 20 hours.
Nothing like that.
I know you're familiar with that at UCO. You did that a little bit, but
definitely
talk a little bit about what it's been like with your new teammates and why is this team 8-1-0?
Yeah, I just think that, like I said, the team's just meshing really well. All the new guys are doing pretty well. It seems like everyone's coming in and filling their roles. Like, you got the top guys scoring goals, you got the third, fourth line guys going out there banging bodies and just creating some offense and stuff like that. So it's definitely just been a collective team effort, and everyone's just doing well together, and everyone's just bonding really well. It seems like a close team so far. So I think it's definitely adds to how we've been playing, because we're just close together off the ice, so it's helping us on the ice for sure.
So before you got to the University of Arizona, what did you know about this program, and why did you want to be a part of it?
I was looking to get out of UCO and just talk to a couple different schools with my brother, and I knew me and my brother wanted to go to school together, and I knew that this program was heading the right direction, and talked to Chad a little bit and just convinced me that this was a place that I wanted to be. And I mean, so far it's looking exactly where I should be, and I'm having a great time, and it's been great on the ice and stuff like that, so can't complain.
So when you got out on the TCC ice as a home player for a change, what was it like? What were your thoughts and feelings?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely awesome. I mean, our first game against ASU, so we had a lot of fans, more than I was used to last year, so it was pretty cool. And I mean, all the stuff they got going on this year with the media team, like the instant replay stuff, is just awesome. It's like playing in a pro rink. I mean, it is a pro rink. I mean, Roadrunners play here, but it's like the atmosphere is just insane. It's pretty cool playing here in a home jersey. So. And
off the ice, you mentioned the bigger university, but can't really argue with the weather here either, huh?
Oh no, yeah, it's awesome here. I mean, definitely being from Chicago, I'm used to it being pretty cold right now already. So it's nice coming to practice in shorts and flip flops, and yeah, it's definitely a change, but it's awesome. And that was definitely also a factor of getting me here, was the weather for sure.
You know, anybody that's seen your game over the years and seen you early this year with the Wildcats, they know you like to score. They know you can move the puck. Talk about your game and how you've adapted to your line mates.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been, I'd say, more of a playmaker than a goal scorer. This year, I think I'm definitely put lighting the lamp a little more than usually. But I mean, playing with Cusinelli, I mean, my winger, other winger Stolly, he's out with a concussion, so we had Dungy in. He filled it in pretty well. But playing with Cus, it's easy, just move him the puck, and he's got a great shot, great release. So get him the puck, and chances are that we're going to get an opportunity and stuff like that. So and defense is really well too, getting a lot of good shots on net and stuff like that. So it's just worked well around with everybody.
What are you seeing from the opponents right now? They know that they got a couple of snipers on your line, and you and Kus and Stolly, when he's healthy, is pretty good as well. Mm-hmm. So are you seeing any special types of defense against you guys?
I mean, obviously, like, a lot of teams are going to be coming after us now because of how good we've been doing. So they're going to line match and stuff like that. But I think that we're deep enough that, I mean, they're going to have to pick a line, and if it's ours, whatever, we'll go out there and we'll do our best, and we've still been putting up points. But if they're going to pick at other lines, then I mean they've been doing a great job other lines as well. So I think we just got a good depth in our team, and it's going to be tough to play against us all year.
And we talk about the program here in Arizona climbing their way back to the top. Years ago, they were pretty solid. They had some lean years. Coach Berman got here and started building the program, rebuilding the program. I think he's comfortable with where he's at now with the locker room. What have you seen, having seen it from the outside and now seeing it from the inside?
Yeah, I know they had some problems in the past. I really didn't see it playing them. I mean, usually when I'm playing against other teams, I kind of focus more on myself and on our team. But in the locker room now, based on what I've heard, it's definitely a different atmosphere. Everyone's buying in. Everyone wants to win. Everybody's working hard off and on the ice. So it's not just guys that don't want to be here. Everyone wants to be here, and everyone's working hard toward a common goal. And I think that's why we've had a lot of success so far.
So do your teammates here in Arizona look at you a little differently because they know that you've seen the pinnacle of ACHA D1 hockey?
I mean, they definitely give me a little crap about coming here from UCO, and whenever UCO is brought up, they always give me a little look. But yeah, I mean, definitely they see that I come from a team like that, and they want to be that kind of team. So I mean, definitely playing UCO this year is going to be a challenge, and I mean, I'm excited to go play there because I want to take some wins. I want to get some wins on the road against them, and back here as well next semester.
So everybody here wants to not only get to the national tournament but win it.
Yeah.
What's it going to take to win the national tournament at the ACHA level? I call it maybe the toughest tournament to win in all of hockey.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. I mean, last year my team came pretty close, but no cigar. I mean, you got to come every game. You got to come hard every game. I mean, definitely is going to help if we get some of these guys like Stolly and Plum back. Like, we could really use a full lineup. but everyone just got to play their role, and just you got to come every single game, because you don't come for a period in the national tournament, and 10 minutes in the national tournament can change your whole outcome. So you just got to be ready for every single game, come out and just give it your best, and make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing on the ice.
Tell me one last comment, a little bit about playing 3 games in 3 nights. You've done it all your career at the ECHA level. How difficult is that? What do you feel like after that 3rd game?
Yeah, it's definitely nothing like growing up when you're playing 2 games in one day. It's definitely a little more tough now. You got, just with the physicality and stuff like that, it definitely takes a lot out of you, especially if you're playing a lot of minutes. But it's definitely, right now we have an off weekend, which is great, because three-game weekends can definitely beat you up. And yeah, it's just good to have a rest right now. But 2 back-to-back 3-game weekends, it's definitely tough on the body, and you just got to do what you can to get past those, and just hopefully you can bring it for all 3 games.
Bayley Marshall, appreciate your time, and welcome again to the desert. You've been here for a little while now, and let's see if you can bring home that national championship for the Wildcats.
Yes,
okay?
sir.